Second is that there's a lot of events and building attraction within Malaysia. Events like Letua di Langkawi, the Kite Festival, Sarawak Rainforest Music Festival, the Petronas Malaysian Grand Prix can actually be established and show towards attracting other people from other communities around the world. This might be a specialized event that for people who like to expand on kite or even sailing, there's a specialized event for that, but we can capitalize on it to ensure we attract people. Buildings like like modern buildings like Petronas Twin Tower and KL Tower, or even cultural heritage like in Malacca we have the E Famosa, the St. John's Fort, can be shown towards other people to attract people who are interested in history, and those are also can be capitalized to increase other revenue. Lastly, we think that there's also a very diverse and rich in nature as well. So we have Mount Kinabalu, we have Gunung Mulu National Park, we're having forest reserve to orangutan, for instance, or even animal like the hornbill and the Malayan tiger. Those are things that we can show towards these people and make sure that they come, especially in the situation where a lot of ecological disruption is happening all around the world. We can make people appreciate nature even more for showing this. It doesn't only stop in forest reserve as well. We can also promote our beaches and also the marine park that we have. In Sabah Sarawak, there's also a very rich marine park that can be shown to people who want to scuba dive or even snorkeling to show them the beauty of nature. Other than that, we see that there's also other places that are very important. Typically things like amusement park and also a shopping center that is allocated towards everywhere else in Malaysia. We cannot forget about that. Even though it's a very generic tourist attraction, Genting Highlands, KLCC, Central Market can also show the tourists what they want at the end of the day. So we don't need to specialize everything, but also...
End of test.
Now that we have explained the speaking test and given you examples, let's look at the next component of the EET, which is the writing test. What are you required to do in the writing test? This is a conventional pen and paper test you take in an examination hall. You need to answer 2 questions. In the first, you are required to write an email of 150 words. Notice that you need to read and understand the situation carefully and write an email in response in the space given to you. The second question of the writing test requires you to respond to a given situation in 250 words. You are likely to be asked to write an article on a job-related situation or provide recommendations in response to a job situation. Notice that you need to write and understand the situation carefully and write response in the space given to you. Now that you understand what the EET is all about, you may want to know how your performance is evaluated. Your performance will be assessed based on the levels developed by the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, or commonly referred as the CEFR. First, for speaking, you'll see that there are 3 broad categories. The first is the basic level of proficiency, A1 and A2. The second is the independent level, B1 and B2. The third is the proficient level, C1 and C2. You'll see that there are 3 broad categories. The first is the basic level of proficiency, A1 and A2. The second is the independent level, B1 and B2. The third is the proficient level, C1 and C2. Now that you know about the levels, you may be wondering what CEFR level employers expect of candidates. The requirements will depend very much on the nature of the job, as stated clearly in job advertisements or job specifications. Most employers, if not all, would expect a B2, high independent user, for both speaking and writing. Of course, a C, either C1 or C2, proficient user, is highly valued by employers.
Created using Powtoon.